Hey guys, so this is the qualifying with my higher tier clubs. See what I'm trying to do here is hop off that one fairway onto the other. You need that side spin. I end up too far right, so I end up be able to see what happens. Whoops. Great ball that ends up not rolling through. I'm in the sand. So what to do when you're in the sand here is, especially with the Spitfire, because it does shoot up so high, you do have to move your min rings. So it called for 2.2. I moved 2 rings. And make sure you line it up with that hole there. You can see my spin on that. One top, 1.5 left spin. 2 rings. And just make sure you hit it perfect. I always check that to see how many squares over I am. You know, if you've been playing this game enough, you can kind of estimate just by seeing how many squares you are away. So there I am, saved eagle on that. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, and remember this shot is downhill. It is a downhill shot, so you are going to have to over adjust on these shots. This shot does go downhill. So I try to make my line flat on that rough up top. The clock was starting to tick down, and then I just moved 1 to 1 on it. Something I have to fix. Yeah, definitely got to fix that. So what you're going to want to do here, especially if you have APOC 5, APOC 6, is just get as far down that fairway as you can. You don't need to go into any overpowering or anything like that. I used a small, like the tiniest amount of overpower, because I wanted to get into long iron range instead of sniper range for shot at Alba. You can see I'm just lightly holding it into that cradle a little bit further back, and gets me up into nice range. I'm far enough that tree's not in my way. So 412 there. So here I am at my long iron. You can see I'm moving around, and you can tell that it wants to kick right. So I use some side spin just to hold my line straight there. And I believe it called for 15.6 rings. And that's what I moved. And again, there's so much more to this than just moving your rings and stuff like that. There is some luck involved, because that shot was executed perfectly, and it just rolls off the edge of the cup there. That sucks. Anyway, so here is always a mid-ring adjustment. It's not max, it's mid. Now, if you look at this wind, to me it just looks like a side wind. But then when I start to move the rings, I can tell it's a side headwind. So I actually did not move enough rings on this, and I came up a little short and a little left. But just something to fix for next time. So here I moved 5.2 rings. And I was actually shocked on how short it came up. So now this is the club to use, and a wind 4 ball. I'm sorry, not a wind 4 ball, a power 4 ball. If you have the big topper, 4, 5, or 6, use it. It's the club to use on this. I did not go into full overpower. I should have. That's why I came up a little bit short. You can see I'm not it's about half overpower. It's not full overpower. And I came up short. I was a little nervous. It was my first time trying it, and it was short. So this is uphill, and when you're this close, it's like 7.5 to 8 mile an hour for each ring that you move. I mean, you're so close. So I just end up moving about a half a ring here. And if I would have caught perfect, sorry about that. If I would have caught perfect, I believe I would have made that. So on this, what you want to do is go off of the left fairway onto the center fairway. Even if you miss and end up in the rough like I did on this, you're still going to be in eagle range. So I'm going to show you my shot. I am not lined up right. I should have been a little bit further up, and I'll show you my opposition's tee shot, and that's the correct way to do it. So there I go. I'm in the rough. My opposition, I have to take notes on how he sets up here, because he does a fantastic job. And he's obviously a great player. Look at all that. He got silver. Guys just got second place, an expert all day. So he's obviously a great tournament player. So he's got the orange ring on the rough, aimed at the fat rough, and then he does a half a curl here. See that amount of curl? So just got to take notes and do what he does. He makes it on there. A really nice shot here, really nicely done. Okay, so like I said, I'm in the rough here, but luckily the wind is a tailwind, so I'm still able to save eagle on this. I maybe could have went with one less topspin so it didn't roll so much, but I was able to get it up there, make my putt, and saved eagle. This is max ring here, so this was 7 rings. And you can see I'm sticking on overpower. That's just a habit I have from playing in Tour 11. It's yeah. So I'm up there. This was an accident on my part. Watch my spin, 4.5 to the back, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. And on accident, you can see that small amount of right spin I have on there. That cost me this hole-in-one. So this is a mid-ring adjustment. So this is 7.8 rings on this. What I'm going to do is just move 7.8. Mid-ring. It's not max, it's not min, it's mid. And perfect ball. And I knew it as soon as I hit it. That I was like, man, I had that side spin on there. But that's what cost me. So Okay, so here I did use too much topspin. You only want to use 4 topspin on this. 4 topspin max. My opposition actually got into wedge range. He did miss his shot. So I think what I was trying to do here was I was like, oh, maybe I can get this to roll all the way through. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I put on that much topspin, but you can tell it just rolls and rolls, like it doesn't stop. Okay. Now just keep in mind that the shot is significantly uphill, so it's minus 10, at least minus 10%. Now here, I'm just lining it up with the hole, and I move a half of a ring. That's it. You know, I do have to fix a few things. You know, I had 2 sand shots here, so this is, you know, it's stuff that I'll fix for the opening, but make sure you hit it perfect. Got perfect ball, and I was able to save eagle on this. Nicely done there. So. Okay, now this is hole number 9. I do have Cataclysm 6, but I decided to use my sniper. You can see I'm a little bit leery with my topspin. I'm scared that it's going to roll too far if I miss that rough, and it's going to go all the way up into that sand trap. You do need to be careful with this shot, because if you don't hit it just right, you can hit this sand trap up here, right there. That ended up amazing for me. So, okay. So that shot was, I hit that 451 yards. And my sniper was still out of range. So I'm like, so what I'm doing here is I'm estimating my second hop on this. And I'm estimating, okay, that's about nine and a half rings. It'll hop off of there. So with that tailwind, it's going to move about 16 or about 15 and a half rings. So I do move 5.5 rings, and I'm estimating my second hop off of that other area up there, and it was close. It was close. Look how close I am to that rough right there. Whew. Anyway, so that is hole number 9, and show you my scorecard if I can. And here's my scorecard. So there we got eagle and minus 14. I did not sink a par 3, so room for improvement. I'm hoping for minus 16 or more in the opening. Okay, good luck, everybody.